Welcome back to Spike Power Driver. This is Local to Global 1992. Even though we're in 1996, the save name has still got the same name. Right, welcome back. My name's Anders. This is Spike Power Driver, Total Extreme Wrestling 9, Local to Global save. I hope you're enjoying the series, by the way. If you aren't, then what are you doing here? I mean, if you're new, please go and watch the rest of the series. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Get yourself over to Patreon if you haven't already and you want to support us in a monetary fashion. Anyway, thanks. Let's dive straight into the show. If you want to check out more videos, there's playlists linked bottom in the description at the end of the video as well. It's June of 1996. We've got our Doomsday monthly event kicking off very shortly, but we'll do the regular what's going on kind of situation at the beginning of each and every video. First off, the finances. May made a load of money. We made 34 grand, which 6 months ago, or maybe 9 months ago probably, we didn't have 35 grand in total, let alone making in a month. So, absolutely swimming in cash, which is excellent. The schedule for today's episode, by the way, we've got Doomsday, which is our monthly event at the beginning of June. Then we will have a TV taping at the end of the month, which will be the final hurrah for Chris Jericho before he heads to WCW. Then at the end of the month, we'll do our customary stop in Preston for our All-Star Wrestling show, where we just make some money in the UK after buying All-Star Wrestling a couple of episodes ago. If you want to see that, go and check it out from a couple. I think it was episode 21, maybe the one with Finley in the thumbnail. We bought two companies. Then we'll have Immortals at the beginning of July, the next bank of TV. So we block book 4 TV tapings in one session, and then we'll have All-Star Wrestling at the end of July. And depending on how long we get on, we'll try maybe and do some August as well. But I promise you nothing. I promise you nothing ahead of that. Right, championship situation. We have a King of Combat, which will not be featuring in this episode. It's the Battle Royal event in November for a title shot. But that title shot will be against our World Heavyweight Champion, who is currently Raven, who is 245 days into his reign. He's very close to surpassing Jeff Jarrett's 266. He's currently matching Jeff Jarrett's other 245-day reign, and he's well beyond his 154-day reign when he was champion back in 1993. He's champion. He's been defending it for 15 times now, which is nearly double any other champion. So he is definitely the longest reigning champion by defences, at the very least, in our history. And obviously, we've unified this with the British Heavyweight Championship to make it a world title back in March. Our tag team champions are the Eliminators, and they haven't defended their titles in a while, apart from in a job match in Preston. But they've defended it 5 times successfully. 184-day reign currently, which is very close as well to the record reign of Booker T and Stevie Ray back at the beginning in 1992 at 210 days. We've also got a World Television Champion, which is currently Rob Van Dam. He's on 17 successful defences, 93 days in total for his reign so far. Nearing the 112 for Chris Jericho, but he's already surpassed the number of defences. So the TV title is the who's who list of people who we've built up and then left us. So Malenko, Guerrero and Jericho are all on there. So there we go. I mean, Jerry Lynn's also left us, and Jeff Jarrett has left us as well. Someone who did leave us is the Lightning Kid before he became any sort of champion. We were about to push him, and I think that was either 92 or 93. Basically, we were about to push him. I think it was 92. And as we did so, he decided to leave. But he is back. If you can see him here. He's the Kid now. He's got a beard. He's going to debut as a cocky heel. And he is very over still. He's very much up there with our top wrestlers in the company. If we just quickly look at anyone who is over at 45 in the US. We've got Chris Jericho still, who we're trying to slowly bleed popularity off before he leaves us. Dino Bravo is a veteran. Jerry Lawler is also a veteran, but he's took a victory over Jericho. Raven, our current champion. Rob Van Dam, who is our current TV champion and will continue to be built up as well. Terry Funk, who's going to make his debut at some point during this episode. But he's based in Japan, so it costs us a lot to bring over. And also, wow! And then the Kid is also joining our top-ranked wrestlers. That's kind of a bit of the show around what's going on. We'll get into Doomsday tonight, which has got the final match between Jericho and Raven, which, if we look at our most successful matches in the past, their match where Jericho and one of them got DQ'd. I can't remember which way around it should have been, but it shouldn't have been the way around, says there. That got an 81 back in May. So hopefully this one will be up there as well. I'm not sure it's going to beat it because Jericho's got a little bit less popularity than he did at that point because obviously he's leaving. So we've jobbed him out a little bit. He's had a loss to Jerry Lawler and a loss to Brian Lawler in the interim. Right, we will go through and give our main stars, our major stars who aren't booked tonight. Apparently Alex Porto is a major star. Not sure how, but we can give him the night off. Brian Lawler, I believe, is booked. Jericho's booked. Dutch Mantel is our commentator. Yes. All of these guys are booked, apart from Terry Funk, who we'll give the night off to. And this kid is going to debut. He's just going to debut in an angle, so it's going to be a very expensive angle. But we've got loads of money, so who cares, I guess, at this point. There we go. Tonight's venue, I think we're just going to go with Disney MGM again. I think, is that going to be not big? It's only 1,500, though. We can get 90. I'm going to go with a generic venue. I know. I should stick with actual venues, but I'm not. PBS will be airing this one, so we get coverage in the US and Canada at a medium level. I know someone suggested in the comments of a previous video to build our own broadcaster. Now, if I was doing a modern save, 100% I'd do that. But it's 1996. Like, that's not happening. It doesn't make sense to do so from an in-game perspective. And something I was supposed to do was add people to our booking team, and I forgot to do it. So we'll do that after Doomsday. Currently, Raven, Joe Kazana, and Tommy Dreamer are on the booking team with me, and we need to spend some creative energy. We're going to do a creative finish. That's 50. It includes Raven, and it's a near certainty, so that can be used in tonight's main event. And then we'll go for a character idea. This one's likely to succeed, and maybe another character idea as well. I like adding character ideas. This is a big gamble and can only be applied to Perry Saturn. So what I want to do is get the titles off the Eliminators because they're 2 over, and I want to start pushing them both as single stars. So I need to get John Cronus's morale up a little bit. Randy Hogan! No spot for you tonight, mate, sorry. I want to get John Cronus's morale up a little bit, so then they'll agree to job to a team, and then we can split them up. And then I'll use the creative idea on Saturn, because it might be a failure, and I don't want to risk his morale getting dropped, because he is currently happy. Candido and Santana arguing backstage. Not very good. RVD and Simon Diamond have been hanging out a lot recently. That's good. Savio Vega's trained 13 students. Dutch Mantel's passed on some tips on psychology to Flex Cavanna. That's The Rock, if you are unfamiliar. He is one of our rising stars, and we're going to be booking him in tonight's opening contest. So we'll get there, but we need to make sure we do the main event first, because that is the way we book things, and I always forget. Creative finish, a Raven creative finish. We will use that. That's for sure. Hopefully that is going to be a cracking main event. So let's see how it gets on. Right, we've got there's the kid debuting. We've got the Lawlers against RVD and Mysterio. So Jerry Lawler's unhappy. Did I book? Should we not book Jerry Lawler to lose? Let's book Brian Lawler to lose. I wanted to try and get a bit of popularity off. In fact, no. We'll do Jerry Lawler and we'll speak to him about losing to Rey Mysterio first. Where is he? Mr. Lawler? Talk to you. Booking. How do you feel about putting someone over in a match? Where's Rey Mysterio? I just want you to say yes. Willing to do that. Ah, excellent. Fantastic. Does that mean he's not going to complain? That means he's not going to complain. See, I listen to the comments. They tell me to do things and I listen. There's Lance Storm getting a victory. So we're trying to build Lance Storm up as well, because I want to get him to lose to Jericho before Jericho leaves. So we've got to try and get Lance Storm's popularity up to the point where Jericho will agree to lose to him. Booking analysis wise, there's no issues there. I want to just quickly look. When was the last time we used some people? I've got to use Chris Candido at some point, or he's going to want to leave. And then we've got a few other people we need to use. Super Crazy is actually over quite a lot, so we'll need to make sure we use him. Right, Flex Cavanna starts the show in front of 1,800 people. He simply flexes at the fans and tells them to check out how good looking he is. Also, he's going to win a match tonight. He did well, improvised in front of the crowd. Lovely stuff. Starting the show the way we intend to, a 59. Now, the match is not going to be anywhere near as good as that, but hopefully with Dwayne Gill as his opponent, it won't be too bad. He only gets a 33. Flex is up to 28, though, in his in-ring performance. He should hopefully be improving his popularity as well. He's definitely a work in progress, that's for sure. But it's The Rock, so we might as well try and build him up before he goes anywhere else. 33 is not too bad. Moving swiftly on, the Eliminators had a great match with the Hardy Brothers. Perry Saturn is very much in the position where we should be getting him into a singles push. This tag team division is nowhere near as strong as the singles division. Cronus gets the victory, though, over Matt Hardy after total elimination. I'm hoping the victory will give him a morale boost, so they'll agree to job to our next champions. Either way, defense number 6 of the tag titles, Saturn putting in the hard yards. Lance Storm also gets a victory over Buddy Lee Parker. Good match. Hopefully this will improve Lance's popularity. I need to go in and edit his finisher because it's still saying that the Canadian Maple Leaf gets a pinfall when he's actually a single leg Boston Crab, which does not make sense unless he put him in it and then pinned him. Anyway, 53, good. Hopefully Lance Storm gets a nice popularity boost from that victory. Jerry Lawler and Brian Lawler then lose in a tag team match to RVD and Rey Mysterio, who showed excellent chemistry when working together, and they both put in 75 with their in-ring performance, and the match got a 75 as well. This was a good decision. Rey gets the victory with a Mysterio Rana on Jerry Lawler, and hopefully that will put him in a position where he's getting towards the top of the card. Obviously, he had a good run with the TV title and got his popularity up. RVD is very much a stalwart for our TV title division, and we'll figure out what we're doing with that afterwards. But a nice victory there to get some of that popularity we got onto the Lawlers from Jericho onto other people. But good job there. And after the match, they celebrate their victory, but not for long, as someone jumps into the ring and hits them both with a steel chair. It's the returning Lightning Kid, but he's not got any lightning on him anymore. He's got a beard, a bandana, and a bad attitude. It's the Kid. 62 for the re-debut of Sean Waltman. And then Raven tells Chris Jericho that the mind games have worked once again. Jericho played right into Raven's hands and he'll be gone from the company. Another pretender to his title sent packing. We haven't really used the nest much recently, but a 76 for Raven is jolly good. And the main event, an 88. Thank you, Chris Jericho. Thank you, Raven. The creative finish was a success. 70 from Raven, 79 from Jericho. 16th defense of the heavyweight title. And Raven gets the victory in 22 minutes, 42 seconds. And it gets an 88. If that doesn't increase everything anywhere, ever, that's fantastic. That is 7 whole points better than their previous match. And 8 better than the previous best in the company. We don't need Dean Malenko. We've got matches like this, although Jericho's leaving, so that's really sad. But that is absolutely cracking. And a 74 overall for the show, despite the production penalties. Increased our popularity in all 18 regions it could potentially do so. And that is what a way to start the episode. So we're going to give Raven some great praise. We're also going to give Ray and Rob Van Dam some great praise as well. All the R's, all of our longer term projects. Jericho, I'd praise him, but he's leaving, so I can't bring myself to do it. Finance wise, we made 17 grand on the show, 28,800 on ticket sales, which is fantastic. We've spent a lot on workers, like we've spent 400 just flying people over, but that's a lot of money on workers. But never mind. Popularity recap up everywhere, up to 45 now in the southeast, nearing 30 in a couple more regions, 34 in the tri-state, up to 10 in Quebec and Ontario. I wish the TV tapings would shown on PBS as well, because that would continue increasing our Canadian popularity. But that is a brilliant way to end the Jericho-Raven rivalry. Obviously, I would have eventually made this would have been the match where Jericho beat Raven for the title, but would have probably held it at the next monthly event, because this one should have been Jerry Lawler against Jericho, and Jericho should have won that one. But obviously, things change because he's leaving. But that is a fantastic way to end his run, even though he's got a TV taping left to do. We've got a few contracts that need renewing. We are going to renew Brian Lawler's contract. He's currently on 100 per show and wants 230, which is quite a lot more. But we'll go for it. Just have it as ongoing. Yeah, I'm enjoying having him and his dad on the roster, so that's fine. Donnie Allen is a jobber we're not going to use much. We'll get rid of him. Savio Vega, again, let's see. So he wants 90 per show. He's currently on 70. I think we give him another. We'll give him another 9 months. Another 9 months on his deal. We want to find someone more long term to be our trainer backstage, but he's filling that role nicely there at the moment. So we'll keep him on. Doomsday was seen by nearly 100,000 people, 98,936 on PBS, which is a great show. Obviously, I mean, I forgot to mention, but it kind of goes without saying, after some of the ratings we got last month, we won the Southeast Regional Battle. We're going to do that again this time around, that's for sure, because, well, I mean, look, top event ever, 74. Bettering of last month. We're getting better and better. Match-wise, 88. That's the first rating we got in the blue range. Attendances, we're still not quite up as high as we have been in the UK, but we're getting there. And TV views, it's the highest. So you can't really complain about that. Let's do the booking team now whilst we're here. We're going to add people to the booking team. We're going to add Dutch Mantel. And, yeah, Savio's very happy. Jerry Lawler's very happy. Flex Cavana's very happy. Wonderful. And then we're also going to add Jerry Lawler as well. Got deep friendship with Dutch, so that should obviously help. Brian Lawler's happy. Dutch is happy. Yeah. So that makes our booking team look like this. Currently, Raven, Joe Kazana, and Tommy Dreamer, with the additions of Dutch Mantel and Jerry Lawler. Now, I'm not sure how long Lawler's going to be in the company, but whilst he's here, he might as well get some use out of him. We should, in theory, generate a lot of creative energy with this team. Hopefully we don't get any more poor booking chemistry notes like we've had with Kazana and myself, but that's where we are. Let's quickly look at our commentary situation, and I want to shift Mauro Ranallo over to seat number 1 now, because, well, of course, low experience together, but we haven't seen any bad chemistry notes just yet. We could, in theory, add Jerry Lawler to... Yeah, there's why we got rid of Scott Hudson. Yeah, we could in theory add Jerry Lawler to the commentary team, but we're okay right now. These pair are very good, so we should be okay with it. Have I saved it for both of them? No, of course I haven't. Of course I forgot to press save. Right, that's the first show. We'll be back in a couple of weeks, well, 18 days, for the next TV taping, where we're probably going to debut Terry Funk, and it'll be Chris Jericho's last stand before he heads off to WCW. Then we'll have the All-Star show, where I'm pretty sure Funk's got some popularity in the UK, so he'll be featuring there as well. Yes, we finally got a big star for the main event. Maybe we'll do Terry Funk against Raven in the main event of our All-Star Wrestling show. We'll see. Right, thanks for watching so far. We'll be back with a TV taping very shortly, but stay tuned. Okay, TV taping time, and it's the last stand of Chris Jericho before he heads off to WCW. So we'll have him all over this block of tapings, and he'll lose most of the matches, you can be sure. Right, we'll start things out. Episode 69, nice. Begins with Flex Cavana showing his muscles once again. He calls out the Ebony Experience for some reason for his next challenge. They want a singles run, but he's already taken their spot, and this gets a 73 rating for his promo. Just gold. Gold on the microphone, as you would probably expect with it being The Rock. In the ring, though, not as good, but he gets the victory over Stevie Ray with a Samoan drop in 10 minutes, gets a 43 rating for the match, and his 28 in-ring performances, I mean, it's okay. Stevie Ray, singles run, not working. His run with Booker T in the tag division is probably where we're heading for this team next. We might even change them to Harlem Heat. Just see how that works. Right, Tommy Dreamer's in action next, and he gets a victory over Buddy Lee Parker. Now, I asked John Cronus if he would put over Tommy Dreamer and Joe Kazana, and he said Dreamer was not in their league, so we're going to get him a couple of victories and see if we can get that decision made so we can pass the titles on and free up Saturn and Cronus for something else, because they are bigger and better than the rest of the tag division somehow. 49 rating for Mr. Dreamer's victory there. And then afterwards, Chris Jericho tells RVD that he'll step up in the Open Challenge again tonight. He wants one more chance to win the TV title, the title that he made famous, before he leaves to WCW. This gets an 85. I am expecting the RVD Jericho match here to be an absolute barnstormer. Jericho works perfectly without script, and we go into the next match. It's a 79. Exceptional contest. RVD gets the victory, though, with a 5-star frog splash. Defense number 18 of the world television title. 79 rating for the match is brilliant. I need to actually check what Raven and Jericho's popularity got to with that 80-something match rating. 80, I can't even remember. It's literally about half an hour ago in real time. Few minutes in this video. I'll check, but I want to see what their popularity got to. RVD then grabs a microphone, and a little bit disappointing. He was a bit struggling without a script, but he thanks Jericho for helping put SPW on the map. And Van Dam has definitely picked up that mantle and will take the company to new heights. We get a 68 rating for this TV show from that 79 match. The 85 angle, the Flex Cavanna angle as well would have helped. So that is a great way to start this booking block. Now, Raven first, because he won. His popularity is still, okay, still 52. I was expecting it to go a little bit higher. Jericho's is still in the high 40s as well. Where's RVD after that victory? He's in the 50s. Lance Storm is not anywhere near it needs to be, but he's going to get a victory over Jericho whether he likes it or not tonight. Also, how's Flex Cavanna doing popularity-wise? He's getting up there. He's into the 20s in a few regions now, which is good. That'll keep growing. Right, more booking to do for the second set of TV tapings. So let's go for it now. Yes, that's the main. Yeah, RVD against Scott Armstrong is the main event. We'll have another Armstrong angle there, and then Lance Storm making his challenge with a victory beforehand, and Flex Cavanna is going to start the show again because we are pushing him and going to keep pushing him. So yeah, that's good to go. Episode 70 starts with Flex Cavanna telling Booker T that he's not even as good as his brother, let alone Flex Cavanna. It only gets a 53. Nothing was different about it compared to the 73 an hour earlier. But never mind, still strong. He does get a victory over Booker T and gets a 31 for his in-ring performance, and it gets a 46 overall. The Samoan drop doing the business once again. And I've just remembered, I'm going to go back to my booking screen because where's Lance Storm? I forgot to change his finishing move. No, that's not the right one. Where moveset, there. Lance Storm, that one. Can we edit it? We can't edit it, can we? How do we edit moves? Do we have to edit moves in the in-game editor? This is something I've not done before. Options, in-game editor. Can we go to moves from here? No. Wonderful. Okay, how do we do it? Where's Lance Storm? There, moveset. Can we just add a move? Can we create a new move? Create move. Right, so it's Canadian Maple Leaf. And it's a submission move. Can we do it in the ring? Can we do it outside the ring? Can we do it on anyone? I mean, technically, yeah. I mean, can we just clone? Where is it? Canadian Maple Leaf. Clone that. Change it from an impact move to a submission move. And do we have to just lose a little hyphenation there? There we go. Save that. And then where are we? That one. Add as finisher. And then that one can be deleted. There we go. Sorted. Save. Done. Fine. Onwards. Right, Lance Storm is in the next match, and he defeats Chris Candido with his submission move, the Canadian Maple Leaf. As if by magic. Excellent, excellent stuff. A 48 for the victory there. Should hopefully get Lance Storm's popularity up a little bit before he faces Jericho, and Jericho will get too annoyed with him. But he makes a challenge to his tag team partner and best friend. He wants to face Jericho next week. One final match for two of Canada's best wrestlers, 54. And then we go to an RVD promo, which again, struggling without script. He's taken on members of the Armstrong family before. And tonight, another one steps up to the open challenge. So bring it on, Scott. Let's do this. 51, and RVD gets the victory in another match that gets a 73 rating. RVD beats Scott Armstrong in 16 minutes. 5-star Frog Splash. Defense number 19 of the TV title. At some point, we're going to have to go Raven RVD head-to-head. 58 overall. Not bad, really, considering. But good stuff there. Right, any incidents to mention beforehand? Mark Curtis, Chris Candido getting into argument. I mean, there's not many people backstage. People still find a way to argue. Right, let's quickly look. Lance Storm's popularity is not enough. Jericho is going to be unhappy. How about putting over... would you like to be lose to Lance Storm? Furious. How about putting over someone in a match? Lance Storm. Sorry. Well, we're going to do it anyway. So there you go. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, we'll end with a Lance Storm promo afterwards. we'll have Jericho and Lance Storm in the main event. Jericho's not going to be happy about it. He's furious. I'm sorry. I am. I'm sorry. But it's happening. And we'll have RVD in the main event. Double clicked there. And we'll go with Flex Cavana getting another victory to start things off. Jericho's furious. I know, I'm sorry, Chris, but you're leaving me. What do you want me to do? Flex Cavana's back to enjoying the freedom of going off script. He talks about his family's history in wrestling being bigger and better than the Armstrong family, and he's going to prove it tonight with victory over Scott Armstrong, which is what he does. 54 rating for the match. Flex Cavana gets the victory with a Samoan drop. All going well for him so far on this push. You can see where we're heading in the next TV episode, aren't you? Jericho is going to be fuming. But he gets 36 for his in-ring performance, 54 for the match rating. Excellent stuff. Should be moving him up nicely up the card. Maybe this is what we should have done with Lance Storm. Anyway, RVD faces Black Shadow Jr. 2 and beats him for the 20th defense of his TV title. 81 in-ring performance from Van Dam. Black Shadow was rusty still, and they have some great chemistry, but it doesn't matter because Black Shadow is leaving soon. 66 rating for the match, and we move on to Jericho accepting Lance Storm's challenge. He'll happily go all out with him tonight inside the ring, except he doesn't want to put him over, but he does anyway in a 67 rated match. Jericho looks good out there, is angry about the decision, but Lance Storm makes him submit to the Canadian Maple Leaf. Sorry, Chris, but you're going to have to go out on your back. Lance does a masterful job of improvising his interactions, and he's thanking Chris Jericho for the opportunity to join him in SPW. Wishes it could have lasted longer, but Storm will pick off where Jericho left off. Sorry, Chris, I know you are angry, but 59 rating for the show overall, and Jericho's going to be even more angry when he sees what we've got in store for him tonight. Where's Lance Storm? His popularity has only gone up a little bit from the victory, which is a shame. Jericho's has not gone down much. Where's Flex Cavana sitting in all of this? I mean, he's going to get another victory over Chris Jericho tonight. Maybe Flex Cavana's the one we should have been pushing all along. Okay, right, let's go into it. Pre-booking. Main event is going to be RVD against Super Crazy, because RVD is also super and crazy, as you can tell from his promo that's going to go on before it. We'll also have Flex Cavana against Chris Jericho, and Jericho is he happy with that match? He's happy to put over. He wasn't happy to put over his best friend, but he'll happily let The Rock beat him. He knows which side of his bread is buttered. There we go. His toast is buttered. Whatever the saying is. Right? Yeah. Okay. Let's go for it. We'll put that one on there, actually. We'll start with the match as Tommy Dreamer faces Black Shadow Jr. 2 in front of 567 people in a generic arena in the southeast. Dreamer gets another victory. It's 44 rating with a Tommy Hawk. And Tommy's getting a bit stale, so we need to give his gimmick a little bit of a refresh. But he gets the victory. Man of the People, Tommy Dreamer, has a promo afterwards. And the Man of the People announces that he and Joe Kazana will be challenging the Eliminators for the tag team titles, and they promise to finally win the gold. And the angle idea was a success. Thank you for bringing it to me, Mr. Dreamer. 53 rating for the segment. And we go into another segment with The Rock, who improvises well. He tells Chris Jericho flat out that he sucks. And that's why he's leaving just as Flex Cavana gets to SPW. And now this is going to build another star because he faces Jericho and he gets a 61 match rating overall. Cavana beats Jericho with his deadly Samoan drop and only pulls a 32 in-ring performance. Jericho with a 66. But Jericho goes out on his back under the lights and Flex Cavana gets a big career-defining victory. He's so far undefeated in the company. 61 pushes his popularity even higher. RVD loves his opponent tonight, though. He knows that Super Crazy is great, but Van Dam is also super, and he can get pretty damn crazy sometimes as well. Only gets a 53, which is a little bit disappointing. But he gets the job done in the ring. A 66 match rating, defense 21 of the TV title. The open challenge rolls on. I nearly thought maybe we should just give Super Crazy the title here. But no. Face-on-face match works out well, though. RVD with a 75 in-ring performance. Job done. 55 to close the night is still okay. We should still keep getting our popularity increased. Only lost 10 grand tonight. Still used a lot on workers, which is fine. Popularity recap up quite significantly around the piece, which is good. Nearly into the 30s again in a few more regions. We'll keep ticking up there. and we'll have a look at what the damage is to Chris Jericho, and his morale hopefully is not in a position where he'll never return to us. But you never know. I mean, Lightning Kid was pissed off with us when he left, and he's back now. We're going to have to start using him. We've got Terry Funk to start debuting as well. Still got the Lawlers knocking about. Raven needs a new challenger after Jericho's been vanquished. Whole new ball game up at the top of the card, which we're going to get into in our next event. But I think we might be moving RVD into the Kid in a TV title match. I think that's where we were heading with the angle at the end of the last show. So we'll do that. And maybe even switch the TV title over to the Kid to see there. So ratings 61,000, which is good for syndication. Is Jericho leaving tomorrow? Yes, I know. He's not. His morale's not even that bad. Where is he? Jericho. He's extremely happy. So furious at losing, but I mean, he will come back. I think when his contract is up with WCW, which is May 1999. Whew. We'll try and re-sign him. Hopefully we'll be bigger than WCW by then. Flex Cavana, however, is now, even though he's got cooled momentum, how has he got cooled momentum? He's literally won every single match. He's 7 for 7, sorry. Like, how can you say he's got cool momentum? His popularity is through the roof. It started out as 0 in May, and now he's in the mid-30s everywhere. He's well and truly. Maybe he should win the TV title. Maybe we should do that. Lance Storm has not seen anywhere near as much of a benefit from beating Jericho. He's only up a few points. 10 points in the Great Lakes. It's not much, is it? I was expecting that kind of performance from Lance Storm, but never mind. What about Dreamer? Is he ready to be put over? We go to Tommy Dreamer now. Surely that John Cronus is going to be ready to put them over now. So if we talk to Cronus, booking, how about you and Perry Saturn consider putting a team over? People's favourite tag team. Sorry, Tommy Dreamer's not too far down the pecking order. What's the problem? Like, literally, he's right there. He's more over than you in the Tri-State, that's for damn sure. What about Perry Saturn? Perry Saturn's up there as well. Where's Joe Kazana? I think I'm going to do it anyway. We'll do it anyway. Joe Kazana's the one whose popularity's down compared to Dreamer. Whatever, we'll do it. We're switching the tag titles the next event. Jericho's leaving tomorrow. Black Shadow's annoyed. We need to debut Terry Funk. All of that's going to happen. But before we get to our next event, which is Immortals in July, we have got All-Star Wrestling to quickly get through. That will be a real quick interlude. But we'll do that. It's a week's time, 8 days' time. We'll do that, and then we'll get to the next event. And we are flush with money right now. We are making money hand over fist. We're back for All-Star Wrestling as we head back to Preston. Back in Preston once again, and we're just going to go straight into this one. We're going to debut Terry Funk tonight, but we'll give him a proper introduction on our next monthly show, Immortals. So we'll kick things off. We're in Preston once again, 1,964 in attendance, so a nice big money spinner. And the opening contest sees the Eliminators defeating the team of Hoovy and Super Crazy in 8 minutes. Sorry, I just assumed it was total elimination. Rings of Saturn on Hoovy gets the job done. A 45 for this one. Again, you'd expect better ratings if this was in the US, but it's a good start to the show. 7th title defense for the Eliminators. Obviously, we're going to have them face the people's favourite tag team at Immortals. Lance Storm defeats Alex Porto to keep his momentum going. Gets a 42. The crowd, zero interest whatsoever, but, you know, they got pulled around. We move on to Rey Mysterio beating Dino Bravo with Mysterio Rana. He gets a 57 with his performance, and the match itself gets a 51. Again, the crowd do not care that we are here. We are literally here to spin some money. That's it. Terry Funk, the hardcore legend, rocks up, calls out Jerry Lawler and insults his stupid family and wants to kick his ass in Preston, of all places, and it gets a 90. Excuse me. Terry Funk was superb. We need to use him. He's worth the money. And although the commentary wasn't as good as the segment, it got a 90. 90. Hopefully his match against Jerry Lawler is not too bad, actually a 54. Lawler stinks up the joint. Funk still gets a 58 with his in-ring performance. We'll run this back in the US and see how we get on. Spinning toe hold gets the job done for the Funker, though, in his debut match. He's worth the money already. And then we move into our main event. Raven still doesn't like England, never has, never will. Here he is again, though, beating people up and cashing a check. And he faces Dwayne Gill. I mean, why not? Didn't have much heat to it. Dwayne Gill's got a bit of popularity in the UK, but Raven gets the job done. Number 17th defense for the world title. 55 rating. I did notice that the TV title's now got more prestige than the world title. 52 overall rating. Show increases region popularity in 8 regions, which is all of Canada and Hawaii. I could tell you that before we even get there. But the Funker promo, that gives me some good confidence. Let's go on. Money-wise, loads of it. 33,000 on ticket sales again. 21 grand profit. That's with 10,000 spent on workers, because we spent a lot of money on expensive workers. Up to 11 in Quebec and Ontario. Everywhere else is stabilising, going up technically, but stabilising. And there we are. I'm not sure whether we need to keep running these All-Star shows. I mean, we're going to keep running them, but whether we need to keep featuring them, because nothing really happens. They are literally there to make some money in the background. It's a little bit of a cheat, but we did buy All-Star Wrestling, so it makes sense that we keep some sort of presence in England for a while. I probably won't feature the next one because nothing will happen on it. Raven will defend his title, would trot out a load of people who haven't got much popularity, and we'll just about strug by at the point where we are. We are going to have to go through the half of the year awards, though. I can see them ticking over in the processing section. So we'll have a look at the half year awards now as we go through. So the male wrestler of the half year is El Dandy, of all people. It's the jam up guy. NJPW wins company half of the year. Shark and Vicky, tag team with female tag team of the year. Male tag team are Milicia. They're in Mexico. Match of the year so far in Mexico. Show of the year in Japan. Female young wrestler. None of those. We're not going to win any of these, are we? Oro wins the male young wrestler. Veteran goes to Tenru. Female veteran Labriosa. Akira Hokuto. No. Male independent wrestler of the year is Too Cold Scorpio. That's about the only one we could probably think we'd even get anywhere close to. But there we go. Right. That's fine. We won the regional battle again. First out of 5. Yep. Vampire Warriors gone. Don't care about that. Plenty of people watching All-Star Wrestling last night. Jerry Lawler tells us that Hoovy needs to learn how to sell. Yeah, probably does. All-Star Wrestling lacked big names. Yep. Okay. Fine. Right, we made a profit of 37,000 last month in June. We finished the month, by the way. That's why all that came through. Best month yet. Let's see. Well, we've got 6 days until Immortals. Let's just have a look at some of our potential companies that we might buy. Border City Wrestling are still massively in debt. They sold their training school, which is what this was about here in April. But I think they're going to go bust before they get anywhere close to where we can buy them. So our finances, if we go back, we're on 169k. We'd literally wipe out everything and then some. Where has it gone? So that'd leave us with a negative 70k, which is not worth it just to get up to 33 in Ontario. I would want to buy them, but I fear they're going to get made... they're going to go into administration and go bust before we can have a chance to buy them. Again, these have lost too much debt for that 26 in the Midlands. It'd be nice, but it's too much debt. Because I think if we get to 26 in the Midlands, we could get coverage in S4C in the UK, which wouldn't cover Northern England, but it would. I think it covers Midland. We'll have to check. Let's check. Broadcasters. That's Japan. Here, is it S4C? Yeah. So it's Midlands, Ireland, and Wales, and you need you need 35 in one region. That wouldn't be enough. Okay, ignore that because it wouldn't be enough. So what was it? It was 20. Yeah, it wouldn't be enough to do that. Okay, ignore that. They are definitely not worth doing. Tiny, insignificant promotions are not worth our time of day. All Pro Wrestling, again, we are bigger than them everywhere. They've got no money whatsoever. River City Wrestling, much less debt for them, 20 in Alberta. Now, is that worth doing? So they're growing, I think. They're up to 20 now. What would I think we just basically keep just growing in Canada a little bit quicker. Is it worth spending that money to grow in Canada? Where's our size? What we go to? Canada, Alberta up to 20 would be our biggest region. I mean, there's a potential for that. I don't think we'd actually want to do anything with the rest of the company, though. So where was it? River City Wrestling, 50 grand. It's going down as well. It's getting more expensive the longer we wait. That's Portugal. I mean, we don't really care about having there. It's tiny, insignificant companies again. So they're a better value, but they're only getting to 11 in British Columbia. Again, I could probably just click down there. That'd be why. It'll get us up a little bit in British Columbia. I mean, for 14 grand, I'm tempted. I'm tempted to buy those two Canadian companies, honestly. Liberty All-Star Wrestling. No, these are not going to be. Wrestle Hume Factory. We are as big as that anyway in Tokyo. In Kanto. If we go to it. 31 in Kanto already anyway, so that's fine. And then we're back to companies that do not need buying. I mean, this is who we were looking at before. But they're nowhere near. So maybe, should we just do it? I mean, they aren't going to get any better. 11, 4 and 1. I mean, Alberta we're better than. So it's literally just getting a 6 increase in British Columbia for 14 grand. Do anything? Who have they got? Have they got anyone on their roster we might want to borrow? Or use, rather. Let's have a quick tour of the company. No, let's have a quick tour of the company. Not bothered by any of these guys, I don't think. There's Abdullah the Butcher, Buddy Hart. No, Michelle. No, none of the roster screams out. We look down the list as well. I mean, we could just get them and disband them. I'm feeling in a mood where I just want to spend some money for some reason. We're making 30, 40 grand a month, so it's not gonna. Let's see if they actually want to be bought. Rejected anyway, so that's fine. It's fine. They don't want to be purchased. I mean, they've only just started, I suppose. We'll let them off. What about River City Wrestling? They've been around a while. They've got 20 in Alberta, which would be an improvement for us. Is it worth 50k? Probably not. But I mean, what about their titles? They've got a 6-man title they've never used. Bunkhouse, Chichi Crew, no. Black Dragon's there. He's on our roster. We're not using him. Well, he's injured. That's why. Steve Regal. That's probably not the same Steve Regal, is it? I mean, there might be a few people on the roster that's worth nabbing for a little bit. Who have they got? They've got Shane Sewell, Edge and Christian. Well, Edge is there at least. Al Snow. I mean, there's not really anyone we'd probably want. Larry Cameron. About him. I remember him from a TEW 13 save that I did with the Final Countdown, the Golden Age and Beyond, when I was running JCP. That one was obviously on the Grey Dog forums at the time. That was a good save. He was in there. He was part of the Enemy, I think, Mr. T's group. But yeah, I mean, he could come in as a bit of a we'll job him out kind of guy. Cyrus. I nearly signed Cyrus at one point. Could potentially, and he's got plenty of Canadian popularity, but not much in the way of the US. Maybe we could bring Cyrus in. I'm tempted to buy River City Wrestling. This has gone on longer than it should have. Let's be fair. Let's do it. Let's buy them. Let's tour the company. Who can we get? We get Cyrus, Larry Cameron. Is there anyone else? Do we want to bring in their champions? We're not going to use the Bunkhouse title. No, probably not them. Should we just bring in Bedlam, Bruiser Bedlam, Chi Cruz, Larry Cameron, and Cyrus? Let's do that. Let's see if they actually want to be bought first after all this. They have agreed. Right, so we'll pillage them. And we'll take all of their titles. Select all of their titles, yeah. We not bothered about any of their events. No TV shows to worry about. Training facilities or broadcasters, no. Workers. So, we want Bruiser Bedlam, Cyrus, Chi Cruz, Larry Cameron, and was there someone else? Don't think there was anyone else, was there? We're not bothered about. Can we look at the titles? No, we can't look at the titles now. I think we just go with that. They're the only ones we're actually really interested in signing. Pillage. Let's go for it. We've been pillaged. Right, that was some money spent on the 1st of July. But look at our size in Canada. Look, we're up to 20 in Alberta. Hey, look at us. Hi, Alberta's now our strongest region in Canada for 50 grand. I mean, why not? It's up to some of the same levels as around the rest of the US, which is bizarre. No, we are. For some reason, I spend money for God knows why. So let's have a look at our titles that we've just inherited. The Can-Am title can just get retired. Heavyweight title, we've got Chi Cruz. Junior titles, Black Dragon's already with us, so that's fine. Tag titles, Bruiser Bedlam and Larry Cameron. They're going to lose those. And the television title will get folded into the world television title there as well. Junior heavyweight, should we just start a junior title? Let's see. What about the guys who've just joined the roster? Chi Cruz is a heel. He will lose. No, see, he's going to have to lose that to maybe Lance Storm. He's Canadian. Let's do that. What's he like in the US popularity-wise? He's got none. Of course he hasn't. We'll get Lance Storm to beat him for that. And then that can be folded into another title. Larry Cameron is also a heel. He's got a bit more popularity, though. He's the TV champ and the tag champ. So Bruiser Bedlam is also a heel as well. So we'll have to wait until we get new tag champs before that gets folded in. And wherever Black Dragon is, he's also a heel. So all of their champions were heels. He has still not had his debut match, despite being with us for most of the year so far. Because he's just been injured. He's back next month. Right, we've got 6 days until Immortals. We're going to do some title unifications as well at some point. And we've got Cyrus in. Let's not forget that. Hi, Cyrus. Where are you? You're a heel as well. I'm thinking we might start folding him into the nest. Why not? He can go in the ring as well. Bring another body into the nest. Maybe bring Rhino into the nest as well. Because he's getting over. Big super group. Okay, that's enough of that. We've just wasted 40 grand, 50 grand. I'm sure we'll make it back, but still. Let's go on to Immortals. Alright, time to settle in for Immortals, and we're already halfway through the prep phase. We've got the generic venue set because we're expecting more than 2,000 in attendance now. We'll be airing on PBS, and we're ready for the booking team meeting. And it's a full booking team this time around, as we've got everyone in here. Oh, no, we haven't. We haven't got Jerry Lawler here, actually. So, sorry, I lied. 106 creative energy left. What we got stored here? A character idea, creative finish. We've got a Terry Funk creative finish as well, which we need to use tonight. And a Perry Saturn character idea, which we're going to use after we have the match tonight. So we'll just do that as well and see. Should we just spend on a creative finish just to use a little bit here? It's a Joe Kazana creative finish. That is handy because we're going to use it now. So there we go. We've got that. Locker room incidents. Nothing to report. Excellent. So we've got rid of a lot of people backstage. So we haven't got a bag backstage to worry about. We've got a good one for tonight. The entire company is very good. So you can see here that we've got a few people missing. One thing I do want to do after the episode is look at our roster because we're kind of heel heavy at the moment. So we need to do a bit of rejigging and potentially sign some new faces. As a lot of the best friends that we signed originally sort of 3 to 6 months ago when we were fixing the backstage, they've all disappeared. We are going to have RVD against the Kid as our main event. And that's because we haven't got a heavyweight title match because the Nest are facing Rey Mysterio. Oh, who we got here is a road agent. Okay, Tito is a road agent. We don't want to have Tito as a road agent. Let's put Dutch Mantel in there. All right, so we want Raven and Rey Mysterio are going to be lining up with our next title challenge. So we'll have... Oh, we need to use the creative finish here for Terry Funk, don't we, actually? Let's go down all the way. Creative finish. Terry Funk creative finish. Bit of a gamble, but let's go for it. Why not, Terry? Let's settle in there. We want the Terry Funk angle. Then we want the Eliminators against Joe Kazana and Tommy Dreamer. And obviously, I think the Eliminators might be a little bit annoyed by this one, but we're going to go with it anyway. Cronus is unhappy. Maybe if we'll go back into that a second and see if we can protect Cronus. Keep him strong, because we're keeping Saturn strong, and Saturn was fine. So we keep Cronus strong here. We need to just get the tag titles off of them, because they're so much bigger and better. There we go. They're so much bigger and better popularity-wise than the rest of the tag team roster. And we only got 86 minutes. I thought we got a longer show than that. I'd say we'd put some more matches in now, but we haven't got anyone left, because we've given everyone the night off. Oh, we haven't given Jeff Hardy the night off hour, apparently. So maybe we'll just rejig a few timings-wise. So we'll give this one a few more. Make this one a bit longer. We'll make it a slow build as well, because it's going over 16 minutes. Always good to do, I find, in my experience. RVD and the Kid is not going to be a clean finish, so we're not going to have that one be an absolute storm that we expect it to be. And then we can't really go any longer with Funk and Brian Lawler, because Funk can't do that. We have got Lance Storm facing Chi-Chi Cruz for that heavyweight title from Canada. We're going to get that onto one of our own roster, and then that can be unified in with another title at a later date. Chi-Chi Cruz is probably not a long-term member of the roster. Looking at him, he should be okay, actually. I'm not... maybe I'm doing him a disservice, but I'm not expecting great things from him, but maybe we'll see how he gets on against Lance Storm. It's a good starting point for Storm anyway, for Chi Chi Cruise's Storm anyway. So that'll be it. 95 minutes. Let's go into things. We start with 2,100 people in attendance, and actually Chi Chi Cruise does a decent job. Gets a 30 for his in-ring performance. Lance Storm drops a 51, and he defeats him to become the RCW Heavyweight Champion, the Canadian Heavyweight Champion. And we're going to use that title to merge in with, unifying with another title, probably the World Heavyweight title at some point. Maybe we'll give Raven and Storm a TV main event and we can do the unification there, just to get the title off the books, basically, and make use of it. But Chi Chi Cruz does a decent debut. Maybe we'll keep him around for a few months as a job guy. But a good start to the show at 50 with Storm picking up another victory. And we go into our tag team title match, and it's finally happened. Joe Kazana and Tommy Dreamer. So, the people's favourite tag team, which is the comment section's favourite wrestler, Joe Kazana, the Golden Boy, and Tommy Dreamer, Man of the People, have finally defeated the Eliminators. We have got a tag team title change finally. The Eliminators have lost. The neckbreaker DDT combo on John Cronus is enough, and Kazana has finally won a title. When everyone's been calling for it down in the comments, let me know how excited you are that this has finally happened. And Perry Saturn's dropping a 67. We need to get him into singles action. I think we're going to turn him face, honestly. Give him a face push, maybe take over the TV title. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the TV title, whether they're going to keep it on RVD or move it onto the Kid or what we're doing there. But that is great, and the creative finish was excellent as well. Well done, everyone involved. A 61 for the tag team title match. We can start actually bringing in other tag teams now and it not be so stagnant. Terry Funk follows it up. He's here, and his first goal is to wipe the stain of the Lawler family from the company's underpants. Starting with Jerry's dumb kid. Terry Funk worked the crowd well. Not as well as he did in Preston, but still got an 84 with his promo. He's getting better at his gimmick as well. Moving forward, he beats Brian Lawler despite the creative finish being a failure, and they've got great chemistry, so we might have to roll that one back again. Funk with a 69, nice. Brian Lawler with a 63, and it gets a 68 overall. Funk getting the victory. We'll have him face Lawler again in the US this time. Maybe that could be a TV main event as well. But that's a good showing. And we move on to Raven and Rey Mysterio. Rey challenges Raven to put the world title on the line, but Raven tells him that he's got to work for it. Find two friends and face Raven and the Blondes tonight. 71 for this. Rey Mysterio worked the crowd well. Raven clearly will have done as well. And the match itself gets a 65. Rey Mysterio head and shoulders above everyone else with his 77. Raven's 67 is up there as well. Tito, super crazy, teaming with Rey. Obviously, Cage and Impact on the side of Raven. But a really good match to keep ticking over. We're going to have Rey and Raven be our title main event at the August show. But a 65 rating for this six-man tag is excellent. Nicely done. RVD doesn't appreciate the blindside attack by the Kid last month. And if he wants to fight, the TV title can always be on the line. He gets a 59. Despite being terrible without a script. Went into a bit of a mess. The match itself didn't, though, I can imagine. 76, and that's with a disqualification as the Kid intentionally nails RVD with a low blow. This was a good one. The Kid only got a 51 with his in-ring performance. Now, I was expecting better, so I'm tempted to not put the title on the Kid, because I was expecting him to be in the 60s. With the overness he's got, the popularity he's got, I was expecting him to at least be in the 60s. That's not good enough. We're going to go with Perry Saturn. There, decided. Perry Saturn will be our next television champion. But that closes the show. A 76 rated main event closed the show. We get 63 overall. Popularity up in 15 regions, which isn't all of them. That's not 18. If I know my numbers, 15 and 18 do not equal each other. But strong start to the month of July. No injuries to report. Progress 20 in the profit column. 33,000 on ticket sales is all good as well. Popularity recap. For some reason, we've not gone up in Alberta, Saskatchewan, and British Columbia. Is that because? No, that's because we've gained in those regions this month, isn't it? From purchasing River City Wrestling. So that'll be why. We've already hit the caps for gaining in the month. So that's fine. We're still over there, though. We've still got 20 in Alberta, which is good. Better than quite a few regions in, I'll say Northwest. 3 regions. 3 regions in America, but it will keep growing. Up to 12 now in Quebec and Ontario. 46 in the southeast. We are not going to be too far away from getting to medium size, which is 59 in the southeast, and I think 35 in one or two of the spillover regions. We'll double check that. We might as well double check that. We've got the information at hand where we can actually check that, and I can give you the proper answer rather than just trying to remember off the top of my head. So we'll do that. We'll check that size requirement, and then we'll go through to the TV tapings, where we're going to have Perry Saturn turning, potentially, after winning the TV title. Who are they? Wrestle Yumi Factory. We don't want to buy them, so there's no point. 96,000 watched Immortals, possibly a little bit lower than I was expecting. I was hoping to breach 100,000, but it's okay. Right, the size requirements for moving up. We need 59 in the southeast, which we're 13 away from, and then 35 in either Great Lakes, nowhere near it yet, Mid-Atlantic, yeah, pretty close, or Mid-South. Yeah, pretty close. So we'll get those requirements before we get that requirement, is what I'll say there. And then, well, we're starting to grow in Canada, obviously. I'd like a Mexican company to be poor, but there aren't any. They're all doing well. So I can't buy any Mexican popularity like I bought everywhere else. Apart from Europe, obviously. I don't think there are any Australian or Indian companies in the game at this point. Now, what I did want to mention, so if we look at our roster, if we split it by heels first, we've got lots of heels. That's good. A few of them are going to go. So Bruiser Bedlam's not going to be long for the company, I don't think. Chi-Chi Cruz probably isn't either. So they're both going to go. I'm going to turn one of Saturn or Crap. Probably Saturn. I'll turn him face because he's the better worker. Oh, no. That's not what I wanted to do. And then if we go onto the face side of the ledger, you can see it's a little bit less into, and that's including Dutch Mantel, Mark Curtis, Mauro Ranallo. They're obviously not wrestlers. So take that into consideration. So we need to find some faces, basically. So we'll go to our trusty wrestler search and have a look what we can do. So they want to be working in the USA. We want to hire them. We need them to be males because we don't have any females on our roster. We need them to be active wrestlers. Wrestler, obviously. Backstage, not a negative influence. And we want someone with, say, 70 basics and 70 psychology, and maybe we'll just go with 60 stamina as well. That's going to be a big old list. Yeah, that's a big old list. Right, so we want someone with the attribute 100% babyface. There, let's see who that narrows it down to. Probably still quite a big... No? Oh, yeah, there's 6 of them. So Phantasma, Mexican, cheap. We've got a lot of luchadors on the roster. Coco Beware, expensive. Lizmark, old. Mascarita Sagrada, mini. Mike Graham, old. He's a mini as well. So Phantasma is basically the only one of those guys who is potentially 34 and not over in the slightest in the US. Coco, however, is he leaving the WWF? No, he's on a handshake deal with the WWF. Maybe we can just bring him in. He's the ECWA heavyweight champion as well. Maybe we'll bring him in for a short stint. Let's bring him in for a 3-month stint. That's a lot of money a show. Do that. It'll be another guy for Raven to beat up. And this isn't kind of where I was hoping to better as a babyface. Hopefully this will bring up a few people as well who we can start to look at. Okay. No. Angel Azteca, again another luchador with probably not much popularity. Antonio Inoki, we can't sign him, or he's unwilling to at least. Now old. Anyone on this list who it's just luchadors, isn't it? Jumping Joey Mags, Johnny Grunge we could bring back, I guess. Masato Tanaka, what's he like in the US? Okay, maybe we'll bring him in as a job guy. Mark Bart, we could bring Bart Gunn back. No, R3, Norman Smiley. Pantera Del Ring. There's nobody jumping out as, yeah, let's sign them. Is there? Nobody jumping out as let's sign the guys. Tatanka will not come back to us. We should have kept Tatanka really and not pissed him off too much. Should we bring back... We'll bring back Public Enemy. I mean, it's the worst. They could just do a few jobs in the tag division. Bring them back in on a handshake for 6 months. There's Rocco Rock. Obviously, you're now based in Canada. That's no longer an issue. We got rid of you because it was an issue. It's now no longer an issue. Right, we'll bring you both in for 6 months there. And what about Angel Azteca? What's he like? Getting popularity, but not too bad. Decent in the ring, high flyer, technical. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's bring him in. Another luchador. He's a lot of money, though. Currently works for 2 Mexican promotions. Obviously, we've got you. Do we want to spend... We don't really want to spend that much money, do we? That's not on Antonio Inoki either. What about Brillante? He looks But he's got a very white mask. He's not too bad. Popularity-wise, a little bit lower. Like Brontes. Again, he's a masked luchador who works for UWA. Good potential. It's Takeda 2. There's Takeda 1. Okay. Nobody's really jumping out here, are they? This is another potential guy. I mean, he's worked for UWA. I don't know. I'm really struggling for inspiration with anyone on this list, really. We bring Mike Barton in for a couple of losses as well for another 6 months. And we'll go with Angel Azteca. He looks like he might be the best of the bad bunch, really. He's got a couple of he's got an 80 technical, 79 psychology. Yeah, okay, we'll bring him in for 6 months. Handshake for 6 months. 900 a show is a lot, though, for someone who's probably only just going to lose to people. There we go. We brought a few more people in, I guess. We'll see. So we've got Lance Storm as our heavyweight champion from Canada. He'll have to unify that one with Raven on TV, which we'll do shortly as we go through the next block of TV tapings. And I'm not sure what to do with the television title, but I think what I will do actually now, whilst I remember it, if we just clear the search, go to Perry Saturn, talk to him. How would you like to turn face? Have no problems. Okay, let's see if we can do that. No recent turns. Better as a heel, but he can work as a face. Set him to turn. He's an extremist that's legendary. I mean, he's got a creative idea as well. Let's use that now. Big gamble. Success. Brilliant. Right, let's turn Perry Saturn face. And we'll see what we're going to do with the tag team division as well. Right, we'll be back for the next block of TV taping. Unleashed number 73. We'll kick that off right here in a second. Okay then, it's time for TV taping once again. Episode 73 of Unleashed. But before we get into it, we have a couple of character ideas that we need to mention. So, well, one at least. We've got a Raven creative idea here. And it's a big gamble, but we're going to do it anyway. There we go. It's a success. Look at that. Excellent stuff. We have got a couple of other creative ideas to use, but we aren't going to use them yet. You may have seen a few new faces on the roster. I don't know if we talked about that earlier. I'll be honest, I'm now recording on a different day, so I can't remember what we discussed. But we've got a few new people. Angel Azteca has joined. I think Coco Beware is here. There's another couple as well that we'll get through as we get to them. Mike Barton's come back. We haven't given him a new name yet. But he might just come in as Mike Barton. So there we go. Right, we've got the TV taping to get through. The first one of the night is 73. We're in the loft at Center Stage in Atlanta. Rey Mysterio starts the show. He knows he can beat Raven for the world title, but if he needs to run through the rest of the nest first, he will do it. We used a creative idea here, and it was a success. Gets a 61. He did, however, be a bit poor when trying to improvise his dialogue, which I know the feeling, Ray. I can be quite poor when improvising dialogue as well. Have you seen my videos? 61 is a good way to start the show, though, and we go straight into a match with Ray against Adam Impact, and this gets a 65. When our opening contests are getting 65s, you know it's going to be a good day. He gets the victory in 10 minutes with a Mysterio Rana. A 34 from Edge is not bad. 73 from Ray, though, is very much up there. Great job. RVD is next out, and again, very poor when trying to improvise his dialogue. Still gets a 68 rating, though. He's annoyed that the kid returned and then targeted him, but then took the easy way out and got himself deliberately DQ'd. Can't remember what we said it was the DQ for, but I'm assuming it was a kick to the nuts. Anyway, he wants him in the ring again and willing to give him a second chance at the TV title right here, right now. And he does, and it gets a 74, which is fantastic. The kid's in decent form, 50. RVD with a 75, though. And because of how he performed in their first contest, I kind of decided not to give the kid the TV title. So RVD can hold it again. 13 minutes. Defense number 23 of the World Television Championship for Mr. Van Dam. And we haven't even finished yet. A 92 from Raven. 92 for an angle here. We are a small promotion, and Raven is dropping 92s. He's here to pick up the scraps with his best friend abandoning him. Lance Storm is ripe for the picking, so Raven will grant him a match tonight for the world title, but it will cost him that new River City Wrestling Canadian Heavyweight Championship that he earned not too long ago. So, Raven is giving Lance Storm a match for a unification, basically. And would you believe it, Raven wins. 76! It outperformed our previous contest. All 3 matches tonight in a fantastic output. Lance only gets a 50, but Raven 73. Raven and Ray is going to be a really good match. Creative finish, success again. 50 and 50 with an even flow DDT. Raven wins the RCW heavyweight title, unifies it into the world title. We're going to go and vacate, make it dormant, whatever, retire it, that's the word. And defense number 18 of the world heavyweight championship. 76. We get 68 overall. That's with the production penalties. Show increasing everywhere. Excellent stuff. Can't complain in the slightest at that one. If we go through to our next one, we've got locker room incidents to look at. Nothing. Brilliant. Right, before we do anything, titles. RCW heavyweight title now belongs to Raven, and we're going to... we can't retire the title. We can't retire the title in the evening phase, apparently. So never mind. We've also got Black Dragon still the junior heavy. I'm kind of half deciding whether to keep running with a junior heavyweight division, to be honest. We've got a lot of luchadors. Maybe that. We've got the tag titles there, the TV championship as well, both held by Larry Cameron. Our heavyweight title and world television titles prestige is the wrong way round. But that just shows you how great reigns with the TV title has helped. Right, we'll just go through and book the shows then, because we can't apparently retire titles at this point in the game. So, there we go. Right, let's do what we were going to do. I can't remember what we were going to do. Was the main event. I think it might... Yes, it was this one. Sorry. I definitely haven't, booked this. Oh, Scott Armstrong's not available to wrestle. Why not? Why? Is he not here? Is he not here? Oh, he's not here. Why is he not here? That's completely ruined my plans. He should be here. I haven't given him the night off, have I? Have I? Where is he? Scott Armstrong. Why is he not available to wrestle? This doesn't make sense. He should be available to wrestle. I've not given him the night off. He's currently available to work, not injured or absent. Why aren't you letting me put him in the match? Game? Please help. What was the actual issue? Okay. Not available to be booked to wrestle. Why? I don't understand. I don't understand why he's not available to be booked. He's working here. Is he not working here? Please help. Okay. Fine. Who have we got that we can replace Scott Armstrong with? That we haven't already booked tonight, apparently. Oh, we gave everyone the night off, so that's going to be fantastic. Right, I'll come back to that one. We'll do the rest of the show first, because apparently that can't be happening for some reason. Yeah. We're going to have a Ray match against Christian Cage where he's getting attacked by the Nest. I'm confused. I'm really confused. What about local workers? Anyone local? Oh, you're not any use to me. Oh, there we go. I want someone with some popularity, please. Anyone with any popularity here? Miss Elizabeth Superstar Billy Graham. Can we bring him in? No, he's a heel. He's retired. No, we need active wrestlers. Right. Status active. Male wrestler. None of you. Okay. 40 US. Anyone? No. Okay, this is going poorly. This is what happens when we have to do things on the fly. There's nobody. There's nobody we can use. Jim Boss. Who the hell is Jim Boss? No. 15s. Oh dear. 10? Is anyone who's available who's got any... Larry Hamilton? We'll be back in a sec. Okay, I did some digging and I found out why Scott Armstrong wasn't available. He's wrestled in All Japan today, but because this is a taped event, it doesn't show that he's absent from this one. He was just absent from the first one, and because he was absent from the first one, he can't be here. even though it says he's currently available to work, not injured or absent. That's annoying. So, we've signed Jim Boss, whoever Jim Boss is. This guy, I think he's a WCW jobber. He's just going to come in and lose to Raven. We've rescheduled the rest of the card around, rejigged it. Fine. He can get beat. That's okay. He's got some popularity, so it won't be a complete dud. But it's the opening contest now rather than the main event. Anyway, we go into things, and Raven is a fair man. He's putting Rey Mysterio through the ringer against the Nest. In fact, this works better. So he'll face his own gauntlet of challenges and keep winning on the run to endgame. So it works better in that this guy is a complete jobber who we've never heard of. So, excellent. Gets an 82, not quite the 92 of the earlier show, but still good enough. And he faces Jim Ross, Boss Ross, and it's a 64. So, okay. Jim Boss can go, apparently. 47 in ring. Maybe we should sign him full time. Just to put people over. Raven gets the victory, though. Defense number 19 of the title. 64 for the opening contest. Can any other match top that? Because that's not a bad ball. Oh, yes, they can. Okay, fine. Perfect. Rey Mysterio drags Christian Cage to a 67 rated contest. Christian puts in a 30. Not too bad. Rey, 78. That is good. Mysterio Rana with the victory there. And after the match, Impact, Adam Impact, Angus King, Edge and Kane run down, join Christian in, and a 3-on-1 beatdown on Rey Mysterio. Unlucky. 43 for the angle, and we move into our next one as RVD welcomes the River City Wrestling TV champion Larry Cameron, and he'll be honoured to unify the two titles here tonight. It gets a 69, and he then, there we go, beats Larry Cameron. That took a little second to tick over, and they've got great chemistry. Larry Cameron with a 37 is not a bad in-ring performance at all, but it's RVD with a spinning heel kick. 15:49 unifies the World Television Championship with the RCW Television Championship. That gets a 67, 73 from Van Dam, 37 from Cameron. Not a bad way to close the show, and at 59 overall is still pretty good. So that probably could put us in a position to win the regional battle, but the earlier show definitely would have done. So everything good there. Locker room incidents. Brian Lawler and the Kid getting into a huge row. Excellent. Ruining our good backstage morale. If we look, it's good for tonight. And, careful, it's very good. Very good overall. I did, in fact, there was a comment the other day that said I should do catering. So I'm going to do it and see how much it costs. Oh, excellent now. Look at that. I don't know how much that's going to cost us, like miscellaneous-wise. I assume it will just pop in the MISC costs here. Or maybe it'll come into the show costs. I don't know, but we'll see. It shouldn't burn through 40 grand a month, so we'll go for it. Right, show number 3. We'll obviously have to ignore that one. We can't remove it because we're in the late evening part of the show. So we will have... I can't remember who we're going to have as the main event. Let's go with Raven. Let's put Raven in the main event against Coco Beware. We're not going to have the RCW heavyweight title on the line because it should in fact be gone. But I can't do it yet. Then we will have... I'll put RB... Now both of these guys have been good. So we'll go with that. Angry Eliminators there. Yep. And then... Yes. That one. That one first, because that's afterwards. And then... There we go. Right. We've done that the right way around, I think. I think we've put that the right way around. Yes. Everything good to go. Right. Episode 75 of Unleashed. We're getting through these, aren't we? Rey Mysterio wins the opener against Angus King. Gets a 73. Rey's putting in some fantastic performances. And that's a great start. We're doing some great ratings at the moment. Backstage is key. Making sure your backstage is good is absolutely the key. Afterwards, Rey might have been victorious, but Jerry and Brian Lawler hit the ring and attack Mysterio. The Lawlers are clearly acting on behalf of Raven, but the beatdown doesn't last long as Terry Funk makes the save. The Funker runs in and gets Jerry and his kid out the way. A 68. Crowd loved it. Brian Lawler performed slightly poorly, but who cares? Saturn and Cronus are then knocking around. They're both fuming at losing the tag team titles. Tonight, Cronus wants the TV title and is stepping up to RVD. 53 for that angle. And then RVD faces Cronus and beats him a 72. Another cracking bout. Cronus with a 52. I think Saturn's going to get an even better in-ring performance than that. Defense number 25 of the World Television Championship with a 5-star frog splash. RVD keeps moving on. Then we've got Raven, who's got a smug look on his face, despite Ray having backup in the form of Terry Funk. He tells Coco Beware, who is his opponent tonight, that he's the one who needs to beware of the Raven in tonight's main event. 76 for the angle, and the match only gets to 66. They didn't have great chemistry. Raven's performance slacked a little bit. In terms of this being the worst match of the night at 66, that just shows you what sort of standard we're currently having. But Raven still makes defense number 20 of the heavyweight title. To close the show, we get a 61 overall rating, second best of the 3 so far. And then we've still got one TV taping left. Perry Saturn and Christian Cage are spending a lot of time together. Christian started acting differently as a result. I don't know whether stalwart or professional is better, but both are positive backstage personalities, I think. No, we don't want to do that. Yes. Pre-show complete. Right, we'll actually see how many people are in attendance for this one. And we'll get the main... Oh, I see this too. I'm tempted... See, this is the problem with booking our biggest stars on TV. I don't know which way to put the matches. Like, we've got a TV title match, a tag match between Ray, Funk, and the Lawlers, and then a world title match between Raven and Tito. Now, I'm tempted, and I'm tempted to put RVD and Saturn as the main event. I really am. We will go... We'll start the show with Raven. Let's start the show with Raven. Here... I mean, does that make sense with... Okay, yeah, we can't have Tito as a road agent. Okay, sorry. Yes, that's fine. I can't remember what I put in the angle, so hang on. Did the angle have... No, that's fine. That can go there. Oh, then we actually want to... I've started... I said this in a comment. I always do this. Every single time I record at least one of the shows, I put the opening contest on first instead of last. So, right, let's go through. We're going to have RVD and Perry Saturn in the main event. Yes, that's fine. And then we'll have Ray and Jerry Lawler and Funk and Brian Lawler in the opening contest. You need to move here, and you also need to move here. Right, we're booked to go. The only thing is the Raven Scott Armstrong match. We'll have to do that again some other time. I'm not sure whether this is the right way around, but I've got faith in Perry Saturn, who we definitely signposted earlier might be winning the TV title, and this might be the time he does it. But we'll start out with Raven, with his confidence at an all-time high, and the 635 people in the loft are in agreement with him. He has the nest, and he's even made an agreement with the Lawler family. Rey Mysterio might be the next man to run away scared when faced with the task of challenging Raven for the World Heavyweight title. Excellent job, Raven. 81. Invented a new catchphrase. I think that's new. Well done to him anyway. Brilliant stuff. And the match against Tito gets to 71 as well. The bar set lovely and high. Defense number 21 for Raven's world title. This was a 16-minute opener. 73 from Raven. 49 from Tito's not bad at all. Good stuff. And then we get another 71 as well. So Lawler, Funk, Lawler and Mysterio all putting in some good performances. Ray there with a 73, head and shoulders above everyone else. And it's Ray and Funk who get the victory. Brian Lawler eats the pin from Ray, and we just keep rolling with the great rating. 71, again, brilliant stuff. A 73 from Ray. 50 from Jerry Lawler is the weakest of the 4 performances. You can't go rumble at that. Afterwards, Raven and the whole of the nest hit the ring along with the Lawlers, and they give Funk and Mysterio a 6-on-2 beatdown. Look at all of the names we've got in this one. Such a who's who of stars on our roster currently. It's just ridiculous. Christian Cage underperformed. Raven looked great. Everyone else looked okay. 54 for the angle. Then, it's a very good job we put this as a main event. Perry Saturn defeats Rob Van Dam with the Rings of Saturn submission hold in just under 13 minutes. Van Dam's reign as TV champion ends at 25 defenses. He puts in a 77 in his parting shot. Saturn with a 62. The match itself gets an 80 rating, which is phenomenal. I've got faith that Perry Saturn will have a great run as TV champion. And we close the show with Perry Saturn claiming victory over RVD. he grabs a microphone along with his new title and declares that the reign of Van Damme has been eliminated and Saturn is the new king of television. A 64 for his promo. He improvised well. Hopefully, this is the making of Perry Saturn as a single star. And we get a 69 for the overall show rating. Only increasing 1 because we've hit the cap for the month already. Excellent stuff. Finance-wise, only lost 23 grand. We've spent so much money on workers. It's unreal. 27 grand nearly. That is just ridiculous when you think about it. Ticket sales nowhere near covering that. But we're going to Preston soon, so that's fine. Popularity is just up everywhere. 47 now in the southeast, up to the 30s for a couple of regions as well. Still, we're rolling in the popularity gains. Post-show complete. Let's see how that fares as we need to retire a couple of titles. Check out some popularity as well. See what that's done to some of our protagonists and antagonists, and see where we're sitting in terms of that. Obviously, and then we're going to build towards the All-Star show. So we've got another week until that one. I've put out negotiations with both Steve Regal, so William Regal, and Dave Taylor. So they're going to come in potentially as full-time members of the roster, and we'll have a look when we book each show if there are local workers we can drop in for a couple of matches as well. Ratings are in pretty decent for Unleashed. Don't really care about that though. Championship-wise, the RCW heavyweight title can be retired now. Thank you, Raven, for unifying another one. That one still needs to be decided what we're doing with. The tag titles still need to be unified. TV Championship can be retired, though RVD has retired that one and lost this one. So RVD's 140-day reign, longest both in length and number of defences, is over. Perry Saturn is the new television champion. The World Tag Team titles obviously still being held by Dreamer and Kazana. They've not defended them since winning them 13 days ago. We're now up to 293 in Raven's record reign as well. 21 defences is almost triple the best anyone else has done. But obviously there are a lot more matches going on these days than there were back in 1992 and 93. But 293 days is a monster reign for the champ. Okay, popularity-wise, we'll just flick through a few people on the roster. We'll just go to... we'll just go down here. We'll find Raven first. His popularity is now still in the mid-50s. RVD has dropped down a few popularity points. Ray is still in there. Perry Saturn's got to be up there as well now. Yep, he's up there. I mean, this is... Let's just... if we go to Major Star, that might narrow it down. So the Lawlers... Brian Lawler's still kind of in the high 30s, low 40s, some in the 20s. A little bit odd spread there. Jerry Lawler's up there with 50s. Coco Beware as well, apparently. Saturn, Raven, Mysterio, Van Damme. They're the people we've made. Terry Funk is almost over Star, but he's not our over. That's not from us. And then obviously the Kid is there as well. Right, that's the TV taping done. We're going to go forward the 8 days until we get to All-Star. And we'll be back with the Preston show. And then we might try and get Endgame in before this video ends. Back in Preston we go. And I've made a few signings based on... Well, I've done something because people in the comments of previous videos have said to. So I've signed Regal and Dave Taylor. Although Dave Taylor is a bully and he's already got heat on him backstage. And we've brought in local workers Mel Stewart and Ben McCoy because, well, they're the only local workers available to us. So we'll just bring them in and see what we can do. Also, before we run the show, we've got some news. Joe Kazana is injured. He broke his jaw at SMW Summer Blast. Chris Jericho is also injured. He's got a spinal disalignment from WCW, so he's out for the next 3 months. Black Dragon is back, so we can actually debut him now after being out for 6 months or whatever he is. And Angel Azteca has walked out on FILL. So there we go. That's the news. This is All-Star Wrestling, and we haven't actually got the storytelling match on here. So we will drop this one in, and that should hopefully be... Yeah, that's fine. Right, let's go for it. Okay. We'll start the show. 2,034 people in attendance in the Preston Guildhall, and Raven alludes to the fact that Scott Armstrong missed a booking because he was in Japan, so Raven has decided to drag his ass to England so he can kick it here instead. We've just rescheduled that one from the Unleashed taping. 67 to start the show is nice, and a 44th, the Ebony Experience, returning to tag team action because I've got nothing better for them to do. Mel Stewart and Ben McCoy, their opponents. Booker T with the victory with a Towering Inferno. The job, guys, I guess. Did a decent job. Ben McCoy with a strong in-ring performance. Mel Stewart, less so. I think Mel Stewart is the older one. So there we go. He's rusty as well. 44, not bad. Moving on. Perry Saturn makes his first defense of the TV title with a victory over Coco Beware. And he gets a 53. Over Coco, obviously, moreover. Perry needing to be moreover. The foreshadowing of face turn here, though, is one thing to note. We're going to make pull the trigger on that face turn very, very soon. A 53, though, is a good way to do the second match of the night. It's not, I was about to say start the show, but it's not the start of the show. Raven then got a decent match out of Scott Armstrong. Again, this would have been better if it was over in the US, but still, 22nd defense of the World Heavyweight title. Raven, a 56 for this one. Crowd rating is what's dragged it down. In-ring performance, all solid, though. Okay, and next we have Steven Regal in the ring. He's claiming to be the best example of British wrestling. He tells the SPW fans that Regal is better than all of their favourites. We've heard that before. And they are welcome to hate him just like his fellow countrymen do. And he did a great job, a 69. Nice rating for his promo. And we go into the main event, which sees him defeat Dave Taylor with a Regalplex. A 71 for the main event is very good. I was going to leave this one up to road agents to decide who to win, and then I realised Dave Taylor was a bully and already got heat on him backstage, so he probably won't last very long. But Regal wins the All-British All-Star main event until next month. Thank you. 6 popularity, regions of 6 regions increased popularity. That'll be Canada, I suspect, because we've topped out everywhere else. But still, really good. 59 rating is very, very good, actually, for All-Star Wrestling. And we've carry on. Brilliant. Yes. Finance-wise, made the money back. So all the money we lost on the last show, we've made it back here. It's kind of the point of them. Kind of fund the TV taping. We got a popularity boost in Northern England. What? Chew. What is that all about? Why are we down to 11 in Southern England? That's a shame. When did that happen? Okay. That's a real... Well, I'm sure we were in the 20s. It's just because we've not been there. Fine, okay. 49, though. Up to 49 in Northern England. Well done. 17 in Hawaii and a few boosts in Canada. Okay, so it wasn't all the Canadian regions. When did we drop so much in Southern England? I'll have to have a look at that. We got 40. We're up to 49, though, in the north. That's impressive. That is very impressive. I'm tempted now to do something daft. But I won't do it right now, because that would actually be daft. Right, let's check that out, because I want to know when we lost that popularity in Southern England, because that's a real shame that we've done that. Just quickly, see there. Size, and then British Isles. When did that... It's down to 10 now. When did that happen? We've just been... No, that's the wrong one. There, British Isles. Oh, it was 26 for so long, and then it's just dropping off because we've not been there. Wow. Okay. Fine, I guess. Up to 49, though, in the north. And what's that going to settle down at, though, now? So for the Southern England, defaulting to US. Northern England doesn't even get any spillover into the south. That's ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense, that there's spillover into Wales and Scotland, but not into Southern England. I mean, it's all one country. Doesn't make... You know, whatever. Right, so that's just going to keep ticking down, isn't it? Until we get to the... Fine. That does mean we're never going to get a bit of TV coverage in the UK, though. Okay. Anyway, Endgame will be up next. I think we're going to keep going with Endgame. We're going to make some money for the month as well. Maybe we're not. Or maybe we aren't. Spent a lot of money on workers this month. Quite an expensive month in terms of that. All-Star did some good coverage, and we'll just go from there. Right, we'll be back for Endgame, and then we'll finish this episode, I promise. And for the final time, we'll go through one more show. It's Endgame. Before we go through it, though, we'll quickly look at the finances for July. And I was going into this thinking, how on earth have we lost so much money? And then I realised at the beginning of the month we spent $47,500 to buy a random Canadian promotion. So that explains it, basically. We would have made a 30 grand profit. I thought we spent a lot more on workers this month, or last month, but not that much more. Figured it out. Right, let's go through. Endgame. Obviously, we've got Raven and Rey Mysterio in the main event. Jerry Lawler and Terry Funk. The Perry Saturn's first defence of his TV title, and we'll bring in the light heavyweight, junior heavyweight, whatever it's called, title from Canada, and that's our opener. And it doesn't go great. Neither man particularly doing well. This is basically as a test to see how Black Dragon did in a match, and he got a 31. So he makes his first defence of the title. I don't know whether that's first ever or first since we took over, but I'm going to pass it on to someone else. I think we're going to give it to Super Crazy. Honestly, he's over. We give him a title, and then I don't know whether we're going to rebrand it or unify it in with a TV title, maybe. Not really sure, but 33 for the opening contest is okay. Crowd simmering. We move on to Tommy Dreamer facing Bruiser Bedlam. Now, Bruiser Bedlam, again, is another one who came over from River City Wrestling in Canada. This was supposed to be a unification for the tag team titles, but Joe Kazana is out injured, so we're going to have that next month. Dreamer gets the victory with a Tommy Hawk, gets a 50, and it was a pretty decent match, actually. Not too bad at all. Can't really complain in the slightest. We then go into Perry Saturn's first defense of the television title, and he defeats newcomer Angel Azteca and gets... his second defense of the TV title. Obviously, he defended it once in All-Star Wrestling. A 66, though, is a great effort. 63 in-ring performance for Saturn. Angel Azteca gets a 51, and that's without massive amounts of overness. So we're going to push him and see how well we can get him. By the way, we're at the Millennium Theatre. 2,468 people in attendance tonight. We're getting a boost for winning another regional battle. 66 is a great effort, though, but it will get beaten. However, Perry Saturn might have been victorious, and John Cronus comes out to join him in the ring. The celebration quickly turns sour as Cronus shows how jealous he is and decks his tag team partner. The Eliminators have been eliminated, and we are going to turn Perry Saturn face. Complete success. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. With Little Bob S tag team. There we go. Speaking of tag teams, Harlem Heat are back. I'm going to have to change them from the Ebony Experience to Harlem Heat. And they're teaming with RVD and Lance Storm to take on The Nest and Brian Lawler, basically eliminating Raven's lackeys from proceedings. And this one is very good. RVD, head and shoulders above everyone else, gets a 74. And this is basically to get some momentum back in Van Damme's court after losing the TV title. Christian Cage, weak link. Unfortunately, Adam Impact taking the pinfall, though. Generally speaking, you say weak link. 37 for Edge, 28 for Christian, who was off his game. Everyone else, really, really good, strong in-ring performances, actually. We get a 66 rating for the match, and that continues to be good. We then have a fantastic Terry Funk promo. He's not going to mince his words, and he tells Jerry Lawler to go screw himself. I put grow rather than go, but never mind. For all the crap he tries to pull in wrestling in general, he makes a damn deal with Raven, just the tip of the iceberg with how low and disgusting the tactics that Lawler uses. Funk is going to power drive him through the canvas tonight. That gets an 89 to build up to our next contest, which gets another 66. The creative finish was a bit of a failure. Lawler obviously can't go as well as Funk, who drops a moonsault on him. And he puts in a 72 in-ring performance. Gets a 66 overall. This sets up Funk to take on Raven, either on TV or on our next monthly event. I'm not sure, but it does so. And we get Jerry Lawler out of the way. But that's not the only challenge that Raven's got, because he's facing Rey Mysterio in our main event. And he tells Rey that he's been on a dangerous road in recent weeks, not recent reeks. All roads, however, lead to the World Heavyweight title and a clash with Raven that everyone knows that Little Rey can't win. 82. Nicely done, Raven. Main event gets an 86. That is incredibly good. A 78 from Rey tops out over a 68 from Raven, but it's a defense number 23 of the Heavyweight Championship that gets the job done. It's creative finish success. Raven still benefiting nicely from that new move. Still 86. Great main event. Absolutely brilliant show. Gets a 75, and we increase our popularity in 18 regions. Again, those production penalties do not matter in the slightest anymore. We are rocking out with some great, great shows. We will address the locker room, though. Apparently, Raven and myself have been falling out during creative meetings, and also, apparently, it's been noted backstage that we're falling out a lot. So Raven's going to get some good performance, good praise. So's Rey. And we'll drop one for Terry Funk as well, complimented on another good performance. Right, Raven seems pleased. We don't want him to be falling out with us too much. We've got him stuck with us on an exclusive contract. Everyone's happy with some good feedback. Finance-wise, made a load of money on that show. 41,956 in ticket sales. 27 grand profit for the event. Popularity is just skyrocketing. 48 now in the southeast. We nearly caught up to Northern England in the southeast. That'll be there very, very soon. Everywhere else going up as well. On the road to medium. We are pulling in ratings that are definitely up there with companies that are medium, that's for sure. I do think, though, that being on that syndication deal for our TV contract, which has still got so long to run, is going to be a little... In fact, I'm going to check that out. It's going to be a little bit of a hindrance. I wish we hadn't have got the glitch where it doubled the extension so we can get it onto PBS. Oh, Tommy Dreamer's got a charisma. He has an upside. Thanks, Mark Curtis. Viewing figures are 123,000 watched Endgame. Fantastic. Let's have a look at our broadcasting deal. So when's this run out? April. We've got another, 8 months of this? That's not as... It's not as long as it should... Is it? Yeah. I thought it was going to be longer. But, by the time we get there, maybe we'll be in a position to get an even bigger network. The PBS events also runs out in March. So, yeah. Maybe next spring will be the time we can get on a bigger network. In fact, whilst we're here, let's look and see with all broadcasters in the US, coverage in the US. Coverage size is medium. We'll negotiate NEC, where PBS is medium, so maybe we need bigger than medium. What is big? How big do we need to be to get a big? Not too bad, actually. ABC, what about them? They want a lot of popularity, I'm sure. CBS, they're huge, aren't they? Yeah, they want too much. CMT, country music television. Ooh. We could, if we got better production values, that'd be easy. Look at that. Comcast, 40 and 5 regions. Comedy Central, 43 and 3 regions. But yeah, we are not at the point of getting on any of these yet. Disney Channel, what about you guys? 50 and 3 regions. Probably out of the question. ESPN want 90 in 11 regions. Yeah, I bet they do. Fox probably wants something stupid as well. Yeah. Okay, I think this is potentially where we are not going to get on any of these networks. I mean, Nickelodeon's not too far, 44 and 3. Okay, right, that's that. Fine. That's the end of the episode anyway. We're not going to do any more. Thanks a lot again for watching. It's been another longer episode, but we're into the middle of August now. We'll be starting out the next episode with more TV tapings. If you've enjoyed it, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Share everything you like or dislike from this episode. If you've got any tips, please share them as well. Some of the tips in the comments have always been really, really useful. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out the Patreon if you are interested in doing so. You don't have to, obviously, but every little helps. And thanks again for watching. Check out the next video in the series. If it's posted, it'll be in the playlist at the end. And check out the WCW 2000 series as well, and everything else. But once again, thanks. I'll catch you next time.